All right, and good morning, North Texas. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Weather 225 Storm Studios, taking a look at your forecast for today across North Texas. We have a very repetitive forecast between the last couple of days and today. We'll let you know more on why that is here coming up in just a little bit, or in terms of the details on why I'm saying it's repetitive. Very similar to the highs we've had the last 2 or 3 days area wide, anywhere from the lower all the way to the close to around upper 80s area wide. Really just depends on the location. So it's going to be another warm and humid day across the area. Not exactly the most comfortable. In the shade, it may not feel so bad, but we are going to be dealing with some warm and humid conditions again, which means maybe more opportunities for pop-up showers and storms like what we've seen the last couple of days. Here's a look at what we got for the hyper-local forecast in the immediate DFW area. Right around 83 to 86 degrees. Been mentioning that the last several days, and it's going to be the same forecast for today across the area. So as we move on to our rain chances today, it's going to be almost exactly like yesterday, but a couple different rounds that we're going to be talking about. So we have additional rain chances today, higher rain chances basically along and south and to the east of or to the west, excuse me, of I-20. To the east of I-20, it's a little bit lower rain chances, still in the medium range or so, but areas further west, the higher the rain chances go. Areas along and to the south of I-20, that's where we're going to be talking about some higher rain chances as we head into the remainder of today. So this afternoon, yeah, we're going to be talking about some high rain chances here in parts of North Texas. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be kind of like it's been the last several days. Futurecast has actually had a pretty good job of what we've seen across the area. So when we show you Future Scan Radar here in just a second, we'll show you what we're talking about. It's done a pretty good job with the activity we've seen over the last couple of days. It's these afternoon sporadic kind of random pop-ups. They don't move very quickly. They have the potential for maybe one or two warnings. We're not talking long-lived supercells where you have the large damaging hail and the destructive winds and tornadoes and all of that. It's going to be one of those afternoons where we have the triggering mechanism for storms. We have the instability. We have the moisture. We have everything going for it, but it's not the highest end potential, and there's not a whole lot of wind for these to push these along, which means activity may not move as quickly across the area. So that leads us into our rain totals for today. And it's going to be another tricky one because some of us could see, especially with the slow moving activity, and we've seen this the last couple of days, some storms were stationary or they had storm movement as high as 5 miles an hour, which is nothing in terms of the storm movement. So with that being said, some localized areas, I think between 1 to 4 inches will be possible. Now, we're not talking area wide. Not everyone's going to see 4 inches. I don't want you to hear that and think we have tremendous rain on the way. But when you have some of these slow moving storms, not everyone sees it. But when we zoom in here to the metro area, it doesn't take much. Notice the forecast, it's pretty precise in some locations. And I don't want you to look at this and go, Northwest Collin County, that's where all the rain's going to happen. This is just an algorithm in the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center. But all that to say, there could be some areas that see, especially with heavy rainfall that doesn't move and it stays over the same area for long periods of time, I'd say as high as 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. And that could lead to some localized flash flooding potential. And here's a look at what we're talking about with the Futurecast radar. And you can see FutureScan doing a pretty good job the last couple of days. And as FutureScan shows, right around mid to early afternoon, that's when we're going to start to see this activity start to rebubble up across the area. Notice it doesn't move. It's very similar to what we've seen across the area, and it's just going to be kind of random and sporadic. And then later this evening and tonight, we have a complex of showers and thunderstorms that starts to make its way further to the north and east. Now, this isn't going to be those random pop-ups. This will start to push through the Metroplex overnight, and we're going to be letting you know more about that as we head into the midday updates, evening updates, all of that. But we'll see a complex of showers and storms eventually making their way into the area. With all that being said, have a good one. Be mindful of the shower and storm potential. I know we're getting back into the swing of things with work. If you have anything this afternoon, and it's going to be outside, I know we also have some sports and everything like that. If you have any outdoor plans today, I wouldn't cancel them, but also keep in mind we got some rain chances on the way. So the higher rain chances, of course, are going to be later on this evening into overnight in terms of widespread activity. During the afternoon, it's still, I'd say, around 30 to around anywhere between 30 to 50%. It really just depends on what Mother Nature does with these pop-ups, and it's going to be a little bit tricky in terms of coverage because the last several days you get one or two. If you get an outflow boundary with one or two, that leads to additional activity. we'll just have to wait and see in terms of the coverage. But I think for the day, it's going to be around 40% today. And then as we make ourselves, later into the evening, that's when the rain chances are going to go up to about 70%. And that's that complex I was talking about that may arrive before midnight for parts of the area. So again, moral of the story today, we got rain chances at different times today. And this is why we're saying take each day one day at a time. Every day is going to be a little bit different. And then we got some rain chances coming up Wednesday, a little bit of a break Thursday, Friday, Saturday. At least that's some good news. Maybe again, rain chances returning Sunday, still hit or miss, kind of up in the air. But the moral of the story is we still got some rain chances ahead. Just stay tuned for the very latest, and we will let you know all those details when they become available. So have a good one. Thank you so much for starting your day here with us at Weather 225. And the best thing to do if you want to support us is by sharing us with your friends and family. We're trying to get all of our social media accounts, each of them to 10,000 followers each. Trying to get to that by at least the next several months, maybe by the end of the year, well, a little bit more realistically. So getting the name out there, sharing the broadcast, all that gets us to more viewers and helps us get our outreach so that we can get our forecasts and everything. So more people are tuned into the forecast. The best way to help us out is by, just following along, liking, subscribing, and sharing these posts. That's a look at the forecast today. I won't take up too much of your time. Have a good one. You can advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015. If you like our media and forecast, be sure to support us today on Patreon.